All right, hello, welcome to this video. Just a quick little in the car flow. Haven't done one recently. Doing some toning. Kiama estewa hat unewa pokuit akohen natit iestu. Tik ina tidiki mokune bai wahan natitiki awahet istur hak ana. This is just meant to be felt, not necessarily understood on a linear basis. Keonetitia wakwat imahanek inehewa yadia wakwahenna. And as we move through these new components, as we take new measures, as we take through this period of time, as we step through this period of time, as we move into this new dimension, diamond, frequency, light of interconnectedness, the underscores are brought up. That which we have kept score in the past is coming up. Some may feel the scorn, the burn, if you will, the sludge that we are tromping through in this now moment. For it is here with us, for we are moving through this in this new dance, if you will, for it is unavoidable. We are unable to avoid that which we have stepped over before. That which we have stepped on is now coming up, to be renewed, to be refreshed, to be ku anatiki imahane titikine ewaha ishtukuya bik inehet ik inehe wahet ishturahak enek iwaha et ene pik unehewa et ishtukura. We must allow ourselves to move into these new flight patterns in such a way that it allows us to move with the greater movement, a greater visibility, if you will, allowing ourselves to move out of invisibility, moving out of divisibility into indivisibility, for that which has been divisive before in our complacency, that which has been divisively used within our, I'm seeing underscores, keeping scores, that which has divided and conquered before, is unable to hold the same pattern that we once thought it had the capability of holding. It is unable to hold the same recognition, for we recognize what is happening behind the scenes. We recognize that which is being stirred up. We recognize our own patterns. We see within the patterns of the old schematic, of the old PlayStation, if you will, that is being played out on the mainframe game from one perspective. We hold our hearts as currency. We hold up our tekune kiba tishtukuni kiwa anaha tikine uwahak ustak inhewa at inik iwahana. We lift up one another. We are no longer held under by this old schematic that once set us in motion. For the wheels that have been set in motion have outturned, if you will. We have turned over a new field. We are the plowshares, if you will. For we share in the burden, in the load. We have come into a new place in time, moving through this new placement. We move out of the placement system that kept us held in place, that kept us in a space of lack of recognition. It's all a play on words, guys, and once I get time, I'll come back in and kind of share what I'm seeing. Basically, we've turned this, we're the plowshares, we're the grid system. So what's happening is these fields are being churned up, and all that was buried, I'm seeing bones, the skeletons in the closet are all coming up. plowshare recognition. We're plowing through. We're seeing what the old shareholders, from one perspective, were creating in order to hold down this new schematic from being birthed and born. But I'm also seeing that what's happening is what we're seeing playing out on the main stage. There's a reason that it's playing out on the main stage, and it's to create fear, but we're recognizing that. Many of us are, some people aren't. So we're recognizing that it doesn't hold the same all-encompassing energy net that it once did. Therefore, it's unable to collect in the same way that it once was. It's unable to stamp and put a stamp on our value in the same way. We are not feeding the system in the same way. So therefore, the system has to seek more ways to create distraction, and I'm hearing fraudulent imposition. Oh boy, I don't have much. I've got 5 more minutes and I have to run inside, but wow, we could go so many places with this. Fraudulent imposition. It's imposing a fraudulent set of reality schematics to try to overlay on top of us to cover up the true sets that are coming up from the underscore. So when I say underscore, it has to do with music. So we're playing a certain chord, if you will. We're playing as a human collective a certain vibrational frequency, and it's literally vibrating all of this stuff up within our bodies. A lot of people are seeing rashes, skin flare-ups, organ flare-ups, inflammation, because everything is churning, everything is coming up, and it holds within it a certain amount of debris in this field that we're turning. So it also is creating a bridge, if you will, and it's bridging and, dare I say, terraforming, because this is a play on words, and I wanted to go into this a little deeper. Whew. I'm hearing terror forming. So there is to just give an idea of linearity and polarity right now, there's this layer that's trying to terraform through terror, through control, and through distraction, our earth, the new earth. But we as light workers and the farmers, I'm hearing, we are farmers, dun 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 dun. Insurance, right? They're doing it for insurance purposes to ensure that the plans are not lost. Yet we are the insurance providers. So that could go into so many different layers. We're being invited to recognize that we're churning to everything. What is that? Churn. We're bringing this up. We're farming. We're the ones that are creating new territory. So the old territories that are being laid to waste, this is all a play on words, guys. We are changing the way that these territories are being configured, because the energy is shifted so dramatically that the old figures, the old way that the shareholders could bank on how this was going to affect our reality is all out the window. Which is actually a good thing, even though it doesn't look like it. It's messy, is what I'm hearing. It's going to continue to stay messy until we're done doing what we came here to do, which is anchor these systems in the new way. And this involves us interacting with each other in a new way. It involves us interacting with the old platforms in a new way, because we are the new grid system. So if we're playing the old game and we're feeding it, so I was also shown that a big part of this old system was totally ripped apart. So it's wounded, and it's trying to branch out, and like when you cut off a plant and you replant it, it's trying to sprout. But we keep finding the vines and pulling them off so that they can't embed in a new signature frequency connecting to the old signature frequencies. So I could go into so many different ways, but essentially we're being guided. It's raw right now, raw war raw. And it feels like many of us have our heart on our sleeves and we feel exposed. But it's because we are exposing everything that needs to be exposed, not only within us, but also it's being exposed out there. It may not look that way, but energetically, that's what it looks like. So I just wanted to share, stay in our hearts, stay in a place, recognize what's distracting us, what's pulling us off course, and recognize that there's always something bigger going on behind the scenes. Behind what is being seen and what is being played out has already been played out, and there are measures being taken to try to save the old value system. And where certain values, monetary systems go, and it's an old game. It's really desperate to try to grab our attention and try to lock onto us. But because we're shifting so quickly, that's almost impossible as on a bigger scale. So I'm just going to end on that note. In love and light, guys. I'll play more with this maybe this weekend when I get some more free time.